A very good afternoon to one and all. Respected resource person for this afternoon session, Honorable Dr. Prashant Sathe sir has joined our cloud meeting. A person with a vast teaching and research experience is here. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, I welcome him to this afternoon session. He will deliver a talk on NEP 2020. And I would now hand over the session to him. Over to you, sir.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste, sir. Namaste.
Okay. So now I'll start the session. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, good afternoon to all. First of all, I express thanks to organizer, particularly Rafi sir and his team for inviting me for this session. Of course, I am associated with this center since last so many months or year rather. So it's my always pleasure to have interaction with the audience or students or participants, whosoever, during this session. So, as in brief introduction or remark given by Rafi sir, I am here to interact with you on the topic, on the theme, that is National Education Policy announced by the central government on 29th of July 2020. So, in a way, the name of this policy is NEP 2020. Of course, now we are in January 25. So almost 4 months, 4 years and 6 months, 6+ months. The period is over after 2020. And now we are discussing on NEP. So it is not that way very relates, or it is not that way very correct. Correct in the sense, discussing on the national education policy introductory part. Because after 4 years, 4.5 years, of course, almost, then every stakeholder, every associate individual belongs to education fraternity. He or she definitely know, aware, etc. about national education policy. If not, then it is a matter of question to call him as a educational fraternity member. And it is obvious that one way or other, in one capacity or other, every teacher, every student, every whosoever, principal, headmaster, management person in university, whatever, he or she know national education policy in one way or other by this time, after spending 4.5 years. So my object, my agenda, my interest is not to discuss on the importance or relevance or etc. about national education policy. It is well established, I hope. The only point, how to implement it in practice nowadays, because nowadays every member of the educational family, either student or teacher or professor or principal or management or government or university, whosoever he belongs to, he is very much curious, he is very much interested, he is very much planning, he is very much focused on the implementation of national education policy. So, of course, in initial part of my discussion, as a requirement of this session, we will discuss on national education policy. It's elementary part of, that is preamble part of, object part of, but major focus should be on the implementation part of this national education policy in our respective region. Maybe at university level, maybe at school level, maybe at government level, maybe at whatever. So as all of us, all of you belongs to educational fraternity and maybe at higher education level. So obviously we are very much interested or curious or planning or plan for implementation of NEP in our respective institute. Now, already the entry of NEP make it in on 29th of July 2020. So it has entered, but unfortunately, after the entry of NEP on 2020, it was a period of Corona. It was means immediately a period of Corona, and that is why the impact of Corona, effect of Corona continues till 2023. After 20, after its announcement, then the entry of Corona and its impact and its effect, then we suffered lot till 2023. And for example, in Maharashtra, of course, in all states, in of course, capacities or percentage is different, but almost in all states, including state of opposition, in way there is no any question of opposition or etc. But those who are not in favor of that national education policy initially, now they also start. They are also trying to start to implement the national education policy, even in West Bengal, even in Karnataka, even in other states also. My point is, now all states, they are very much curious, they are very much eager, they are very much planning for implementation. For example, if we took the example of Maharashtra state, so in the state of Maharashtra, where I belongs to, where this university belongs to, in Maharashtra from 2023, June 2023, national education policy was started in its implementation stage, at its implementation stage from June 23, particularly those who are autonomous colleges. I repeat, those who are autonomous colleges. And non-autonomous colleges, for other institutes, for other universities, those who are not autonomous, in Maharashtra, the implementation of NEP starts from 2024. So the year is very clear. 2023, autonomous institutes, autonomous colleges in Maharashtra, and 2024, all universities, all colleges, particularly at higher education level, they started to implement NEP in its real sense, one way or other. Capacity or the severity is different from center to center or level to level. Now, as all of you are aware, 100% aware, and you need to aware, of course, otherwise it is of no use to follow the policy of national education in our respective institute. That is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. I repeat, of course, all of you, every one of you aware and knows. If not, then it is a matter of question again to call ourselves as a member of educational fraternity. So all of you aware the basic structure which is redesigned by the NEP committee, and that is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Recently means previously at up to 2020 rather, the structure was 10 plus 2 plus 3. Now the structure has changed 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. But my purpose, my object, my agenda, my interest, my focused area is not to explain what is 5, what is 3, what is 3, what is 4. As because it is particularly restricted to school education and higher education level. And all of us, we are belongs to senior college or at higher education, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5 stage in its recent change. So that is why I will not focus on 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, but my underlying comment is very specific and defined, that every one of us need to know the structure called as 5334. Otherwise, as in commerce, as I am teaching commerce, as I am teaching costing subject in my college, so in costing we used to call finished product of one is a raw material of next. It is a process. Finished product of one is a raw material of next. In industry management or in this in industrial process, the same rule applies. On the same line, finished product of 5 is a raw material of next 3. Finished product of plus 3 is a raw material of next 3. And finished product of plus 3 is a raw material of next plus 4. So now 5, 3, 3, 4. Please try to understand the basic idea, object, preamble. Mentioned in preamble, it is being mentioned that what is the vision of NEP, that is policymakers, that as they announced NEP on 29th of July 2020, it was accepted by the central government in 2020. Then it is their plan rather at that time. At that time, it was their plan that NEP will start to implement from 2021. Then from 2021 to 30, I repeat, from 2021 to 30, year 2030, it will gradually, that is developed. 5-3-3-4 structure, and complete and comprehensive and exact and expected implementation of NEP will take place from the year 2030 to 2040. It means during the decade of 2030 to 2040, it will start, or it will or that NEP will implement in its full extent, in its full capacity. It was the plan of NEP, that is policymakers. But as I said in the beginning, unfortunately, because of Corona, because of impact of Corona, effect of Corona, we lost first 3 years almost, 20, 21, 22, even 23. So that is why we exactly lost that 3 years for implementation sort of. Lots of discussion, lots of workshop, lots of debate, lots of seminar, lots of webinar, particularly webinar, because Corona, what is the unfortunate or fortunate outcome of Corona, that all of us, we are very much senior, seasoned, well equipped, or that is hypnotized rather with the online mode of teaching and learning. Unfortunately, what is going on right now also, I am at one place, one corner of my city, and you are spread all over the, and everything is going on smoothly. So it is of course plus and minus, but for me it is minus, because physical that is one face to face teaching is very much important than Facebook teaching or online teaching. Okay, this is not the topic of today's discussion, whether the pros and cons of online teaching. I am coming to basic topic of my discussion. Literally, we lost first 3 years as far as NEP implementation is concerned. And that is why implementation of NEP in its real sense started from 23 or 24. What was the plan of NEP, that is policymakers? 20 to 30, gradual expansion, gradual implementation of NEP, 5-3-3-4, and complete implementation in its real sense from the year 23, 2030 to 2040. And at the conclusionary part of NEP, if you go through with the basic document of NEP, you will realize it is being mentioned that by the year 2040, again policy will reviewed, policy will again consider for some changes, for some what is called as the expected changes, or for some adjustments required during that time. So after 20 years, as it was announced in 2020, what is the plan of policymakers? Then by 2040, again there will be revision of national education policy, and new document will announced in the year 2040. But okay, now we are in 2025. Still 15 years are there. Now, I am not here to discuss what is the stage of implementation of NEP in your respective state, because this group is very heterogeneous group as far as participants are concerned. They are spread from all over the state, not all over the state, but all over the country. So that is why this is not topic of my discussion, where it is started or where it is not. Just for example, I am quoting that in Maharashtra government has started to implement NEP at higher education level from the year 23 for autonomous colleges, and for non-autonomous colleges from the year 2024. My point is very different for today's session. As all of you are aware, that now the degree is of 3 years degree, degree is of 4 years degree, and degree is of 5 years degree. Again, all of you are aware, there is no, I am not making any new or any unique comment or any statement over here. All of you are aware that the degree is of 3 year, degree is of 4 year, or degree is of 5 year. What is the basic assumption of my session or of my idea? That a student has cleared his 5-3-3-4 structure. He has passed his 12th exam, and then he entered to higher education. Higher education is of 3 years degree program, 4 years degree program, 5 years degree program as per the NEP. Maximum credit 132, maximum credit 176, and maximum credit 220. I repeat, 132 credit maximum, minimum 120, 176 credit maximum for 4 years degree, and 220 credits maximum at 5 years degree program. Now, if you categorically follow the sequence, then in Maharashtra, for example, in autonomous colleges, they started implementation of NEP in 23. So 23-24 first year, 24-25 second year, 25-26 means next June 25 to 26, it will be third year. And 26-27 will be the fourth year degree program, and 27-28 will be the 5-year degree program. As all of you are aware that in NEP, the flexibility is given to the student either to opt for 3-year degree program, 4-year degree program, or 5-year degree program. Now, so now, for example, in Maharashtra, the question is, it is just in a discussion stage, or it is just on planning stage, or it is just on the record stage. What will happen by 25-26? What will happen by 27-28? If students of fourth year degree or if students opt 5-year degree program. Right now, we are in third year, moving towards third year as far as that 3-year degree program is concerned. Of course, it is likely that out of 100 students, I repeat, out of 100 students, those who took admission at undergraduate level, for example, for 3-year degree program, out of 100, of course, again, it is a matter of prediction, anticipation, or as per the experience, what you experience means past experience of the student as far as their psychology, etc., is concerned. So out of 100, for example, 20% students will go for fourth year degree program. Of course, for this 20%, it has no any logic. But maybe out of 100, 80% people, 80% students they will say, we want degree of 3 years degree program. We want degree from the university, degree from the autonomous colleges, for example, and they will continue with their career. Some students, 20% students maybe will continue for fourth year degree program. And again, next year, fifth year degree program. So, but that question will arise in Maharashtra by 25-26 and 26-27. So still 2 years are there. So right now, my object is not to focus much more on what will happen on fourth year, what will happen on fifth year, what will be the workload, what will be the infrastructure, what will be the vacancy, what will be the. So this session is not for addressing the problems of the teacher about their workload or about their timetable or about their infrastructure facilities or about their ownership or about their service or about their appointment or about their cash. It has no any concern with this session. Of course, all these questions are very much important to particular teacher because he is very much interested to know increasing of workload. He is very much interested to know how the government will fill the post, how the institute will fill the post. As for example, all of you are aware that by 2 days before only, 3 days before only on Monday at 3 p.m., Honorable Minister of Higher Education Dharmendra Pradhan ji, he has announced policy document draft, of course, published by the UGC for appointment of teachers and service condition, even from appointment of assistant teacher to vice chancellor. Some of you already go through with that document, and discussions and debates are going on whether it is right or wrong because by 5th of February next month, UGC also want some suggestions from the public. Public means we people only, because we people are the only right category to give remark, to give feedback. So side by side, it is my suggestion, it is my request, it is my advice or whatever to the audience that go through with the document. One document is of 28 pages, and other document is of 13 pages, 1 3. So please go through with this document thoroughly and give the suggestions to the UGC if you want to make some changes, because it has direct concern with NEP. If you go through with that 28 pages document of published by UGC, announced by UGC. It is a draft, of course. It is not a final document, but it is a draft. So now we must aware, we must curious, we must go through with the document and make our suggestions to the UGC on their portal. That is my not my topic for today's session. My topic, my session is now there is no any option, but we have to have implement national education policy in our respective institute, whether we are autonomous, whether we are non-autonomous, whether we are private, whether we are state university, whether we are open university, whether we are international university, whatever capacity we belongs to, as we are in our country, as we are in India, we have to have implement NEP in one way or other. For example, in Maharashtra, what I am saying again and again, repeating Maharashtra, because it is being compulsorily made by the Maharashtra government to implement NEP at higher education level, still at school level. I know the problem, or I know the limitation, or I know the reality that still at school level, that is 5, 3, 3, 4 level, that is very minimum. I have to say the word minimum work has done as far as its implementation of NEP is concerned. Whatever is going on is just discussion and debate and sessions and training programs, but actual started is not yet made in 5334. Of course, this is again not topic of today's session, and I am not expert. I don't have any expertise in that part. But 100% I know that the implementation of NEP at 5334 level in Maharashtra, it is not that way very they are not very serious in a way, or serious in the sense on paper implementation part is very minimal. Coming to our basic point, for example, we are teacher, because I hope that all of us we are teacher, either as a member of board of studies, either as a member of academic council, either as a member of senate, management council, whatever. So we are teacher, we are professor, we are principal, maybe we are management, because some participants may be part of management, part of institute, part of university, part of BOS, part of academic council, part whatever capacity you belongs to. My suggestion, my request, my advice is the 15 principles or 16 principles given in national education policy. I repeat, whatever the 16 principles total mentioned in national education policy, we have to implement, or we need to see to implement these principles in our daily routine life, whatever capacity we belongs to, either as a teacher, as a professor, as a BOS, as a AC member, as a MC member, as a principal, as a vice chancellor, as a pro vice chancellor, as a dean, whatever, or registrar, number of. I'm not exploring all that is post which are available, but we people, as right now number of people attended, there are 89. So 89 participants or 88 participants, they belongs to educational fraternity in one way or other. Then what do they expect, or what we expect under NEP, that they should recognize, they should identify and foster. I repeat the sentence again. They should recognize, they should identify, they should foster the unique capability of each student, because every student has its own capacity, has its own experience, has its own maturity, has its own level of understanding. And that is why, by sensitization, and that is why this program is arranged, I hope. So, by sensitizing the students in particular, we need to promote students' holistic development in both academic and non-academic areas. For that purpose, what is required? Personal interaction with the students. If the group is very limited, 5, 10, it is easily possible. I know some of you may ask the question immediately, what to do about in our country the ratio is 1:120. Then how you would expect that recognizing and identifying and fostering the unique capability of students, or etc. No doubt the problems are there, but as far as possible, because see, unless and until we recognize and we understand and we identify and we foster the unique capabilities of every student, it is very difficult to grow the students, to develop the students in a way. And nowadays, that system is collapsed. That system is not available, or this process is absent. So, in NEP, the first principle, I repeat, the first principle of NEP, as I said, out of 1615 principle, the first principle is recognizing, identifying, fostering the unique capability of each students. It is the job of teacher, as all of us we belongs to. And how to do? By interacting, by testing, by communication, by giving some project, by giving some assignments, we can understood his capabilities one way or other. This is first. Second, foundational literacy and numeracy. I repeat the sentence again. Foundational literacy and numeracy. What is absent nowadays? Foundational literacy. That is the to achieve that numeracy part of, for example, tables from 2 to 30, from 2 to 30, as basically I know that some of the participants will not know Marathi, and immediately if I start Marathi, then there will be message from group, because this is my experience since last 200 lectures or 250 lectures. Immediately, as soon as I started to make comment in Marathi or in Hindi, then people come from, sir, we don't know Marathi, please say in English. Understood? Agreed. But nowadays, in national education policy, unless and until there is a multilingual approach, it is of no use, or it is tough rather to implement NEP in its real sense. मातृभाषा में शिक्षा, मातृभाषा में शिक्षा हो, ऐसी अपेक्षा राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति की है. For example, if you are in Maharashtra, then there is no any order to say in Marathi, provided students knows Marathi. If they are not aware with Marathi, if they are completely seasoned with English, then you have to have use English. There is no any otherwise question. But if they belongs to that language, then you have to have. Coming to the point, Marathi madhe, I used to say in Marathi, then I will come to English 100%. If you want to have any objection, it is your concern, not mine. Coming to the point, आम्ही मराठीमध्ये पाढे शिकवतच नाही. Numeracy, as it is one of the integral principle mentioned in national education policy, tables आपण मराठीमध्ये पाढे, I repeat, ज्यांना मराठी येतं त्यांना ठीक आहे, पावकी, just listen these words and make it in your own language or in your own institute. पावकी, निमकी, दीडकी, अडीचकी, आउटकी, अकरकी. I repeat the sentence. पावकी, निमकी, दीडकी, अडीचकी, आउटकी आणि आकरकी. मी पावकी म्हणून दाखवतो आपल्याला. एक पाव पाव, बे पाव अर्धा, तीन पाव पाऊण, चार पाव एक, पाच पाव सव्वा, सहा पाव दीड, सात पाव पावणे दोन, आठ पाव दोन, 9 पाव सव्वा दोन, 10 पाव अडीच, 11 पाव पावणे तीन, 12 पाव तीन, 14 पाव सव्वा तीन, 15 पाव पावणे चार, 16 पाव चार, अप टू 100 पाव 25. 1/4. पावकी मीन्स 1/4. निमकी, एक निम्म निम्म, बे निम्म एक, तीन निम्म दीड, चार निम्म दोन, पाच निम्म अडीच, सहा निम्म तीन, सात निम्म साडेतीन, आठ निम्म चार, 9 निम्म साडेचार, 10 निम्म 5, 11 निम्म 5.5, 12 निम्म 6, 13 निम्म 6.5, 14 निम्म 7, 15 निम्म 7, अप टू 100 निम्म 50, 1/2. पावकी, निमकी, दीडकी, अडीचकी, आउटकी, अकरकी. Friends, if this simplest mathematics, if you go through with the curriculum of our Maharashtra or all over, I am not mentioning only Maharashtra, up to 1970, 1980, I repeat, in all rural parts of it was taught. महाराष्ट्रामधल्या सगळ्या खेडेगावामध्ये पावकी निमकी दीडकी अडीचकी आउटकी अकरकी शिकवली जात होती 1960-1970 पर्यंत. पण नंतर ते बंद झालं. आणि आता बिकॉज ऑफ द एंट्री ऑफ AI and because of the entry of ChatGPT and because of the entry of computer and calculator and new devices and electronic devices, now it is a matter of out of question to have such type of discussion or teaching part of in our process. See the analytical ability, the research ability, critical ability, all these abilities will enhanced with the help of such numerical part of. आपल्या पूर्वजांचे ज्यांचं वय आता 75-80 आहे त्यांना सहज विचारा वेदर यू नो दिस पावकी निमकी दीडकी अडीचकी आउटकी अकरकी दे विल से येस. पण ज्यांचं वय आपल्यासारखं आहे नाव आय एम 55, ज्यांचं वय 40-50-30 आहे, दोज आर ग्रॅज्युएट, पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएट, PhD, डबल PhD, डबल पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएट, वॉट एव्हर, they are not at all aware with this numerical part of. कारण शिकवलंच नाही आपल्याला. आपल्याला शिकवलं नाही तर येणार कसं. मला सुद्धा पावकी निमकी पर्यंत शिकवलेलं आहे, नंतर मला सुद्धा शिकवलेलं नाही. कमिंग टू द पॉइंट, numeracy is one of the important principle given in national education policy. Now my advice to all, accountancy, if you are teaching accountancy, if you are teaching costing, because I am a commerce professor, so that is why I am focusing on that. Please make it mandatory to our students to go through with these tables. Please make it mandatory to the students to have such type of 1/4, 1/2, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 calculations. Because without using calculator, without using any formula, if you go through with that, then in a way it is very fastest, it is very cheapest, it is very convenient, it is very intelligent, and it improves our knowledge level. I repeat, it improves our knowledge level, and it is specifically being mentioned in national education policy. Fortunately, I come across, I met one of the policy maker in Pune 3 years before, Honorable Kasturi Rangan, because Kasturi Rangan, we got an opportunity to have interaction with committee members of NEP in Pune. There was one program organized by one institute, SEDA. Now, what was the comment made by Kasturi Rangan, Honorable Kasturi Rangan? He was the chairman of NEP 2020. अभी के जनरेशन के विद्यार्थी हो या छात्र हो या नागरिक हो, उनको ये न्यूमेरिकल पार्ट आता ही नहीं है. They are not at all aware with this numerical part. It is the comment given made by an honorable member. I repeat. Why? Because it is completely absent in our curriculum design since 10th or 2 or 3 or only because of justification that what is the need and why it is required, because everything is available on net, everything is available through computer, everything is available through calculator, everything is available to AI and ChatGPT. Why it is required? Friends, I am focusing this point again over here. If we want to improve the abilities of the students, analytical ability, whatever capacity, whatever abilities of students, then this foundational literacy part and numeracy part is utmost important. Point number three, flexibility. As you are teaching arts, as you are teaching commerce, as you are teaching science, because these are traditional streams. Of course, I am not at all have a comment that these are the only streams available for. But normal streams are arts, science, and commerce. Now there is a flexibility, so that learner can choose what is being mentioned in the policy, that now learner can choose his field, either science or commerce or arts, so that learner have the ability to choose their learning programs and thereby choose their own path in life according to their talents and interest. I repeat, according to their talents and interest. Now, hereafter, they will choose their faculty, either arts or commerce or science or both, that is multidisciplinary. Next one, multidisciplinary and holistic education. I repeat, multidisciplinary and a holistic education across the science, social science, pure science, arts, humanities, sports, whatever. There is a multidisciplinary and holistic education to ensure, underline, to ensure the unity and integrity of all knowledges, because all these are interrelated. You can't separate mathematics with accountancy, accountancy with physics, physics with chemistry. All these are interconnected in with each other in one way or other. Interconnected, interrelated, interdependent. Interconnected, interrelated, interdependent. And that is why you must have a knowledge of science 100%. But along with science, if you are interested in science, okay, go ahead. Your basic degree will be science in science itself. But along with science, I repeat my sentence again, along with science, if you want to learn some subjects in the field of commerce, in the field of arts, then you can. There is no any hurdle, there is no any restriction, there is no any problem, because holistic education. So what is the complete line of principle mentioned in NEP? Multidisciplinary and a holistic education across the science, social science, arts, humanities, sports, for a multidisciplinary world, in order to ensure what I said in the beginning, in order to ensure the unity and integrity of all knowledge. So that is why now we as a teacher needed to develop this integral part of the teaching and learning process. There is no any hard watertight compartment of one faculty with other faculty. I am science, I am not concerned with commerce. I am commerce, I am not concerned with arts. All these are interconnected. But I repeat the comment and sentence again from my side. Your basic degree is of that specific discipline itself. Commerce, commerce. Arts, arts. Science, science. Basic. But along with this basic degree, along with this basic knowledge, along with this basic discipline of your own domain knowledge, if you want to learn other areas which are interconnected, which are interrelated, then you can. So NEP also provides, with the help of OE subject, GE subject, minor subject, as nowadays all of you are aware with this major subject, minor subject, OE subject, VAC, VEC, ACC, all of you are aware. So there is no any need to have. Later on we will discuss maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But as far as possible, or as far as my knowledge is concerned, all of you are aware this major subject, minor subject, VEC, ACC, IKS, all of you are aware. See, community engagement program, field work, research project, on the job training, all these words nowadays you are very much familiar with. So with the help of this, one can easily implement the principle of multidisciplinary and holistic approach. Next, emphasize on conceptual understanding. What is lacking behind? For example, I am a teacher of commerce. If I asked a question, I repeat my sentence and my comment again. I am a teacher of commerce. If I asked a question to a student who has passed his BCom degree from any institute, that BCom with first class, BCom with 8 point some CGPA, whatever. If I ask the question, friends, as you cleared your BCom exam, congratulations. Please answer one question from my side. What is commerce in one sentence? I repeat, what is commerce in one sentence? It is my experience, unfortunate, of course. Of course, it is not applicable to all 100% students. Few students are exception to this. For example, majority of the students, 60, 70, 75% students, unfortunately, they can't answer the question of what is commerce in one sentence. Even though their marks, percentage, CGPA is very excellent, 7.8 point, etc. But still, they failed to answer why it happens. I repeat the sentence. Why it happens? Because of emphasis was not given on conceptual understanding. Concepts are not clear. All other areas are okay. What is there is benefits of commerce, merits of commerce, demerits of commerce, scope of commerce, types of commerce, all other areas, their definition, etc. But concept is not clear. The same is the case of arts, same is the case of science, same is the case of engineering, same is the case of law. For example, in law, if the असं मराठीत सांगतो, then I will make it in English. दोघांमधला विश्वास संपला, दोन व्यक्तींमधला विश्वास संपला की कायदा तयार होतो. ब्रीच ऑफ ट्रस्ट इन बिटवीन टू जनरेट्स लॉ. कायदा का तयार होतो? कायदा तयार होण्याचं कारण दोन व्यक्तींमधला नसलेला विश्वास, संपलेला विश्वास, त्यामुळे कायद्याची जरूर आहे. अदरवाईज घरामध्ये कायदा नसतो. In our family, there is no any hard and fast and written document that as per section 33 subsection 2 you have to follow these duties. आपण आपली ड्युटी करतो because we are interconnected, we are interrelated, we are having that integral approach in our family. म्हणून फॅमिलीमध्ये कायदा नाहीये. हा, भांडण झाली फॅमिली मेंबर मधली की कायदा तयार होतो. असं मी म्हणत नाही की देर आर नो एनी क्लॅशेस और कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स इन फॅमिली. इफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स आर देअर, क्लॅशेस आर देअर, देन the matter goes to the court of law. Then lots of that is a case it is pending in court of law. My point is, the concept of law is this. Concept of commerce is trade plus aids to trade. Very simple to specific, very simple to define. But the basic concepts are not clear of many of the students, either in commerce or arts or science or engineering or law or medical or etc. What is being mentioned in national education policy, that you have to have emphasis on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and learning for exams. Friends, I repeat my sentence, which is very serious statement from my side, maybe, that nowadays majority of the higher education institutes, I repeat the sentence again, if it is not in your case, salute. If it is not in your case, very good, very excellent. It means if in your institute, if it is not applicable, then no problem. Hats off to you. But what is my comment? What is my statement? All over the country, because I visited all states of all our states of our country, and all talukas and jillas of Maharashtra. Almost all. I am not claiming that 100% visit, but almost all states and all districts in Maharashtra I visited. What the point I come across, majority of the higher education institutes, even in private universities, please do not have that type of impression that in private university everything is good, 100% attendance. Sorry, in majority of the higher education institutes, they are just centers of admission and centers of examination. I repeat the sentence again. Majority of the higher education institutes in our country, not only in Maharashtra, not only in Karnataka, not only in Bengal, not only in Gujarat, all over the states, the problem is majority means 60, 70, 80% of institutes, they are just centers of admission and examination. In between, what is where the students go, we don't know, but they pass out, they have a good CGPA, they have a good mark, they have a good degree, they have a good mark sheet, and etc. Point is, if it happens, and that is why policy makers, NEP policy makers are very much serious, very much serious and eager to change this scenario. And that is why they give emphasis on regular formative assessment for learning. Regular formative assessment for learning. Now the days are gone that students will take the admission and he will come for examination. Now, as far as NEP is concerned, there will be regular formative assessment, not examination. The word assessment is being used in NEP, not examination. Because I hope you are in the field of higher education, you know the difference between assessment and examination. Because examination is not expected to conduct hereafter. We need to assess the performance of the students in one way or other in regular formative mode, not only 3 hours exam or 2 hours exam or etc. etc. It must be regular, it must be focused on assessing the performance, formative, and giving an opportunity to the students. For example, if he absent in today's Viva, then you need to conduct the Viva of his Viva tomorrow. If he absent for MCQ test today, then you have to have conduct the MCQ test tomorrow. Of course, there must be some specific reason. Otherwise, there may be question from audience, sir, whether all 365 days we have to conduct the exam or not. No, this is not the case. But we need to take into account the reality, ground reality. And if you are of the opinion that yes, the ground reality is this, student remains absent for that assessment program, not because of his fault, but it is his compulsion. So you may have other session for him. So this is regular formative assessment for learning. Now, if it happens, then definitely students will have a clarity about the concept, because they will not come to the college only for admission and for examination. So that is why emphasize on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and learning for exams only. Next point, creative and critical thinking. What the term I used initially in that numeracy part of. If he is if he is competent enough, if he is confident and competent as far as his conceptual clarity and numeracy and literacy is concerned, then definitely his critical thinking and creative thinking will emphasize, will increase, will enhance. There is no any special way to follow for this. So that is why creativity and critical thinking to encourage logical decision making and innovation. Nowadays in higher education, as all of you are aware, in higher education, incubation and innovation centers, of course, as far as NAC is concerned, they also made it compulsory that if you have an incubation center, if you have an innovation center, then they are giving there, then they will give some extra marks, some good marks for this practice. Now, innovation or incubation or creativity or critical thinking, these are not the only seminar words. These are not only webinar words. These are not only the words which are to be used only in our lectures. If we want to put it in practice in its real sense, and if it must reflect in the performance, in the assessment, in the behavior, in the mark sheet, in the exam part of students, then we must have a interaction with the students, not through WhatsApp, not through Facebook, because nowadays we also assigned our questions to the students through WhatsApp, through some e-mode. Of course, I am not against to use e-mode. We have to have use this e-mode in one way or other, and either compulsion or etc. requirement. But personal interaction with the students in classroom teaching for 45 minutes with a group of 10, with a group of 20, with a group of 30, regular, daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, then there will be some change will take place. Otherwise, students will go through with the material, e-material, hard copy material will appear for the exam, will go through with the questions, will answer the questions and will get the good marks. But in that case, creative thinking, critical thinking, innovative abilities, decision making abilities, logical thinking will completely absent. Because scoring of marks in the exam 9.8 point CGPA is good, but it is not a guarantee that a student who score 9.5 CGPA means his critical thinking, means his creativity, means his innovation, means his logical thinking, decision making is very perfect. 100% not. Unless and until you ask him any sort of assessment process, personal interaction, giving assignment, brainstorming, field work, research project. Otherwise, only e-assignment and secondary data analysis and submission and checking and declaration of result. It's a routine, it's a system, it's a process. But really, if you want to imbibe the culture of creativity, culture of critical thinking, culture of logical thinking, culture of innovation, culture of incubation, culture of startup, then you must ask the students to come to the college and come to the class. I repeat the sentence, come to the college and come to the class. What is the biggest problem in higher education? I repeat again, absentee of the students all over. We are very much expert in seminar and webinar and international level seminar and API and ISBN factor and impact factor and peer reviewed journal and Scopus journal and all and all and all and all and all. ये सब किसके लिए हो रहा है? ये सब स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हो रहा है और स्टूडेंट को उसकी कुछ जानकारी भी नहीं है, स्टूडेंट को उसकी कुछ फिक्र भी नहीं है, स्टूडेंट्स वर्ग में आ भी नहीं रहा है और we are increasing our API, we are increasing our research paper, we are increasing our research projects. I am not against. I am also part of teaching fraternity. I have since last 34 years I am in this profession. So it is not the case I don't have any type of sense. Point is, ये सब किसके लिए हो रहा है? Student centric education in with absent of student. वो विद्यार्थी वर्ग में नहीं है और हम बातें करते हैं. We are writing our research papers, we are writing our books and we are writing our research projects. ये किसके लिए? Out of 100 students, hardly 20 students or 30 students present in the class. Then ये किसके लिए हो रहा है? One day will come that the enhancement of ODL, open distance learning, which is I also have a scarcity or fear of in my mind that if ODL increased, then what will happen to our colleges and our institutes and our private universities and our autonomous colleges and etc. etc. अगर ये करना नहीं है, ये होना नहीं है, ये होना नहीं चाहते हम, तो we must focus on the principles issued by, given by, mentioned by NEP. And for example, giving emphasis on conceptual understanding, creativity, critical thinking, logical decision making by ethics and human and constitutional values. I repeat, by ethics and human and constitutional values. For example, respect for the others. ये कुटुंब प्रबोधन की आवश्यकता है. अभी समाज में ये कुटुंब प्रबोधन, फैमिली ओरिएंटेशन, respect to others, your behavior, your cleanliness, your courtesy, your democratic spirit, your spirit of service, your respect for public property, your scientific temper, your liberty, your responsibility, your equality, justice, all these points need to be. लेकिन ये सब कब होगा? ये तभी होगा जब स्टूडेंट्स क्लास में आएंगे. If the students are not coming to the class, or student class में कब आएंगे? I repeat, when they have that type of atmosphere, when they have that type of sense, when they have that type of responsibility, when they have that type of opportunity, when they have that type of freedom. अगर स्टूडेंट्स को गारंटी है कि यस आई विल लर्न समथिंग एक्स्ट्रा, समथिंग यूनिक, समथिंग डिफरेंट, समथिंग बेटर than previous, then definitely he will come for. Otherwise he follow the same, that is examination and admission process. He will took the admission and he will appear for exam. And so that is why in our practice as a teacher, we must follow ethics, human values, constitutional values, respect. We must teach how to respect the others cleanly, because all these points, what I said, courtesy and democratic spirit and spirit of service, through NSS, we try to imbibe that. National Service Scheme, as you also one maybe one of the program officer or part of NSS committee of your own institute. It is good program. It is very what is called as a planned program for emphasizing on राष्ट्र सेवा और योजना. What is राष्ट्र? हमारा राष्ट्र क्या है? हमारा धर्म क्या है? कर्तव्य क्या है? What is सेवा? What is service approach? Etc. So, spirit of service, respect for public property, scientific temper, liberty, responsibility, pluralism, equity, and justice. Friends, in the principle of NEP, it is specifically being mentioned that you should design the syllabus in such way, you should design the assessment process in such way, you should design the exam process in such way that it will give importance to all these values and all these areas. Promoting multilingualism and the power of language. Next principle. Promoting multilingualism and power of language. जैसा शुरू में मैंने कहा कि अभी मातृभाषा को महत्व है. If you are in Maharashtra, then you have to have learned Marathi. If you are in Karnataka, then you have to have learned Kannada. Even though you belong, you are from Marathi family, and if you are in Karnataka, then you have to learn Kannada, because the basic language of Karnataka is Kannada. Point is, हमें संस्कृत भी आना चाहिए. See, in NEP, only one line is given, and that is promoting multilingualism and the power of language in teaching and learning. ऐसे कोई लोग बोलते हैं कि एनईपी में ऐसा कहा गया है कि संस्कृत कभी कंपलसरी. नो 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 नो, संस्कृत इज नॉट कंपलसरी, बट इफ यू लर्न संस्कृत इट इज वेल एंड गुड. क्यों? क्योंकि हमारी भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा जो है, जो वेद है, जो उपनिषद है, जो श्रुति है, जो स्मृति है, जो पुराण है, जो गीता, ये सब संस्कृत में है. तो अगर हमें इसका अच्छी तरह से ज्ञान होना है तो संस्कृत आनी चाहिए. लेकिन अगर आपको संस्कृत नहीं पढ़नी है, नहीं पढ़ाई जाती है, तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं. लेकिन आपकी मातृभाषा में आपको पढ़ना पढ़ाना अगर कोई चाहता है तो उसे उस तरह की सुविधा, फ्रीडम, लिबर्टी देना आवश्यक है, देनी चाहिए. इफ वी एम्फसिस ओनली इन इंग्लिश, मैं बहुत बार, बहुत जगह, बहुत सिटी, बहुत एरिया, बहुत सेमिनार, बहुत वेबिनार, बहुत प्रोग्राम जाता हूं तो अंग्रेजी होती है. और जैसे मैं हिंदी में बोलना शुरू करता हूँ, मराठी में बोलना शुरू करता हूँ, तो लोग ऐसे देखते हैं कि अरे ये क्या बोलते हैं, ये मराठी में कैसे बोलते हैं. इट इज नॉट अलाउड दैट वी आर फ्रॉम इंग्लिश, वी आर फ्रॉम कमर्शियल पीपल, वी आर फ्रॉम एकेडमिक्स, वी आर फ्रॉम इंटेलिजेंट क्लास, देन इंग्लिश इज द ओनली लैंग्वेज. सॉरी, सॉरी, 1000 times सॉरी. रिस्पेक्ट टू इंग्लिश, नो डाउट, रिस्पेक्ट टू इंग्लिश. अगर कोई स्टूडेंट बोलता है कि मैं महाराष्ट्र में हूं, आपको मराठी में पढ़ाना आवश्यक है. मैं मराठी में पढ़ना चाहता हूं तो आपको मराठी में वो पढ़ाना आवश्यक है. दैट इज वाई मल्टीलिंग्वलिज्म. नेक्स्ट, लाइफ स्किल्स सच एज कम्युनिकेशन, कोऑपरेशन, टीम वर्क. आई रिपीट, we must design the syllabus as a BOS, as an academic, as a principal, as a professor, as a teacher, as a management. We must design the system. We must design the syllabus. We must design the process in such a way that it will emphasize on the life skills such as communication, such as cooperation, such as teamwork. हमें communication, what is the biggest problem is a lack of communication. विद्यार्थी घबराता है, छात्र घबराता है. क्यों घबराता है? क्योंकि उसको कम्युनिकेशन का डर लगता है. मुझे अंग्रेजी नहीं आती और इधर तो अंग्रेजी पढ़ाई जाती है. मुझे हिंदी नहीं आती और इधर तो हिंदी पढ़ाई जाती है. मुझे मराठी नहीं आती, इधर तो सिर्फ मराठी पढ़ाई जाती है. तो उसको लैंग्वेज का फियर नहीं होना चाहिए. भाषा से वो ना डरे. नॉलेज इज इंपॉर्टेंट, लैंग्वेज इज नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट, बट language, you should use such language which will connect the people. I repeat the sentence again, which will connect the people. भाषा ऐसी हो कि वो कनेक्ट करे और वो लाइफ स्किल सिखाए, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल सिखाए. क्योंकि कम्युनिकेशन, if you failed in communication, sender and receiver and what is called as all of you, those who are in commerce, those who belongs to commerce fraternity, they know the process of communication, even coding and decoding and sender and receiver and modes and the tools and techniques, etc. But what is the base of this? The base of this is a ये हृदय से ते हृदय घातले. In Marathi we used to call it. मुझे क्या कहना है? What I want to say, it must understood by the other party in the same sense. This is called as a communication. अभी मैं लेक्चर दे रहा हूं, मुझे जो कहना है वही आपको समझ गया इस माध्यम से, ऑनलाइन माध्यम से, तो कम्युनिकेशन हो गया. लेकिन मुझे एक कहना है और आपका इंटरप्रिटेशन दूसरा है, तो इट इज नॉट अ प्रॉपर कम्युनिकेशन. सो द पॉइंट इज, यू मस्ट emphasize on life skills such as communication, cooperation, teamwork, etc. Next principle, because considering the availability of time, I am moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 likewise as far as this session is concerned. So next part is extensive use of technology. We are part of it. Right now, I am in front of you. Even though I am not showing my face, my camera is off, but still my lecture is there. Actually, in face-to-face communication, in teaching, learning, in traditional, I'm not calling it traditional method, it's a regular method, it's a required method, it's a must method. Under the traditional, please do not have that type of tradition, it is required. गुरुकुल शिक्षा पद्धति होना आवश्यक है, ऐसा मेरा मत है. लेकिन as far as NEP is concerned, अभी के जमाने में युगानुकूल होना आवश्यक है, तो you have to use technology. Extensive use of technology in teaching and learning, removing language barriers, increasing access for Divyang students. Specific word is being used in national education policy about the Divyang students. For Divyang students, because they also have the same right, what the rights to the other students, that for Divyang community people, you must give them an opportunity through this technological advancement to learn the latest advanced technology. So in teaching learning process, extensive use of technology. Nowadays, everyone, as far as my college is concerned, I am teaching in BMCC Pune. In every hour class, 35 class, we have e-boards. And the cost of e-board is 2 lakh plus. But we have interactive board. We have that board which will connect which connects the students, which connect the people, which connect the society. The cost is 2 lakh plus. Why? Because it is now required. Because unless and until we use the technology, it is very difficult to spread the knowledge. But again, I am coming to the same conclusion what I said earlier. Though we are there to use the technology, extensive use of technology in teaching, in learning, in examination, in assessment, in research, whatever, but the basic object should not absent. And what is the basic object? Communication. And what is the basic object of communication? Ye hridai se te hridai. What it mean by ye hridai se te hridai? What I want to say, if you understood in the same sense, then it's a communication, either technology or without technology. So extensive use of technology. Next, respect for diversity and respect for the local context, which is one of the next principle and which is one of the utmost important principle given in national education policy, that respect for diversity and respect for the local context in all curriculum, pedagogy, policy, and always keeping in mind that education is a concurrent subject. What happens many times, we know what is happening in Germany, what is happening in America, what is happening in US, what is happening in UK, what is happening in European countries, what is happening in Asian countries, without having the knowledge of our next taluka. आप जिस तहसील में हैं, आप जिस जिला में हैं, आप जिस राज्य में हैं, उस राज्य की, उस जिला की, उस तहसील की जानकारी आपको नहीं है, लेकिन आपको मालूम है जर्मनी में क्या हो रहा है, यूएस में क्या हो रहा है, यूके में क्या हो रहा है, जापान में क्या हो रहा है. यह होना आवश्यक है. आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट टू नो द नॉलेज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन अमेरिका एंड यूरोप एंड एशियन कंट्रीज. लेकिन आप जिस तहसील में पढ़ रहे हो, आप जिस जिला में पढ़ रहे हो, आप जिस तालुका में पढ़ रहे हो, उस तालुका की जानकारी आपको होनी चाहिए, उस जिला की जानकारी आपको होनी चाहिए, उस राज्य की जानकारी आपको होनी चाहिए. That is why the board of study members hereafter, either at university level or college level or institute level or whatever, while designing the curriculum, they must consider the local context. अभी विद्यार्थियों को क्या आवश्यकता है, उनको जॉब कैसे मिलने वाला है, उनको जॉब खेती करके मिलने वाला है, तो खेती की जानकारी उनको देनी है. कौन सी खेती की जानकारी देनी है, जिस एरिया में वो पढ़ते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम टीचिंग इन पुणे, आई एम टीचिंग इन नगर, आई एम टीचिंग इन संभाजी नगर, आई एम टीचिंग इन जालना, आई एम रेफरिंग दिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट इन महाराष्ट्र. सो जालना का विद्यार्थी अगर हो, संभाजीनगर का विद्यार्थी हो, पुणे का विद्यार्थी हो, महाराष्ट्र का विद्यार्थी हो, तो अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज रेसिडेंस, अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज नेटिव प्लेस, अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज जियोग्राफिकल लोकेशन, अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज नियर विसिनिटी, यू नीड टू डिजाइन द करिकुलम. और अभी ये वास्तव है, अभी ये पॉसिबल है, अभी ये शक्य है, क्योंकि अभी ऑटोनॉमस इंस्टीट्यूट है, ऑटोनॉमस कॉलेजेस है, ऑटोनॉमस यूनिवर्सिटी है. तो आप आपकी अपेक्षा के आधार पर, मांग के आधार पर, एरिया के आधार पर, यू कैन डेवलप द सिलेबस, यू कैन डिजाइन द सिलेबस. देयर इज नो एनी अदरवाइज इश्यू. आपको अंतरराष्ट्रीय स्तर पर क्या चल रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, इसकी जानकारी होनी चाहिए, होनी चाहिए, नो डाउट. बट आपको आपके बाजू में, आपके तहसील में, आपके जिला में जो आवश्यकता है, जिसके आधार पर आपको आगे जाके जॉब मिलने वाला है, तो इसकी जानकारी स्टूडेंट्स को आपको देनी है. दिस इज द चेंज्ड पार्ट ऑफ एनईपी विच वाज नॉट देयर अर्लियर. आई रिपीट, and that is why respect for delivery and respect for the local context in all curriculum, even in pedagogy, even in policy, and always keeping in mind that education is a concurrent subject. Concurrent stands for, as in central, state and state list, it is in between. So you must consider it's an integral part of integral. ये इंटरडिपेंडेंट है, ये इंटर रिलेटेड है. तो हमें आज की आवश्यकता क्या है, वो किधर पढ़ता है, वो किधर रहता है, उसकी बेसिक बैकग्राउंड क्या है, उसकी बेसिक एटमॉस्फेयर क्या है, ये इसका सब विचार करके हमें आगे जाकर सिलेबस, करिकुलम डिजाइन करना है, करना आवश्यक है. तो दिस इज द implied मीनिंग ऑफ दिस. नेक्स्ट, full equity and inclusion. Full equity and inclusion, of course this is required, so there should not be any discrimination in between male and female and all and all and all, and that is why full equity. And next is very important, teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. I repeat the sentence again, teachers and faculty are the heart of learning process, should be the heart of learning process. Their recruitment, their continuous professional development, positive working environment, and service conditions. I repeat, teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process, their recruitment. I didn't catch that. Could you try again? Their recruitment, their continuous professional development, positive working environment, and service condition. I repeat, for example, as I said just 2 days before, UGC has announced a draft document. It is not a final document, a draft document for the recruitment and appointment of teachers and their CAS and their promotion and their etc. etc. So the point is In national education policy, policymakers are very much interested, eager, curious, emphasize, positive in good quality teachers. Of course, still on the other side of the coin, there are problems of filling of vacancy, problems of appointment of teacher, problems of CHB teachers, problems of full-time teachers, problems of grantable teachers, problems of non-grantable teachers, problems of tenure, that is tenure post teachers, etc., etc. So I am not discussing here. This is not the topic of today's session of my discussion. That is the what are the problems of teachers. They also have a problem, no doubt at all. I am also part of this teachers community. But teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. The word heart is used in national education policy. So that is why they are very much positive and they are very much interested in emphasizing on the improving the quality of teachers, quality of teaching, quality of appointment of teachers, their continuous development, their positive working environments, and their service conditions. So this is about next principle. Next is high, that is light but tight regulatory framework. Light but tight regulatory framework to ensure integrity. I repeat, to ensure integrity, transparency, resource efficiency of the educational system through audit and public disclosure while encouraging innovation and out of the box idea. Underline this term, out of the box ideas through autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. Through autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. Friends, nowadays, if you, for example, I am in Pune. In Pune, since last 10 years, not even 10 years, 5 to 6 years, nowadays, the exact number of private universities in Pune city 30. Only in Pune city, as I belongs to Pune, as I am in Maharashtra, I am teaching at Grantable Institutes in one college of Pune. But there are 30 private universities in Pune and only 12 state universities in all over Maharashtra. In all over Maharashtra, there are only 12 state universities and only in Pune, 30 private universities. Day by day, increasing of private universities, increasing of cluster universities, increasing of open universities, increasing of ODL system definitely will have an impact on education platform. Maybe positive, of course, no doubt. Point is, why? Because if you give autonomy, if you give freedom, if you have good governance, if you empower the institutes, then definitely they will implement the NEP, their syllabus framing, their assessment process, their declaration of result as per the expectation of the policymakers. Why it is not happening nowadays? Because there is a restriction. There was no autonomy. But now UGC, NAC, university, government also encouraged to have autonomy. Of course, academic autonomy, no financial autonomy. Some of the participants may ask the question to me, sir, it is not academic autonomy. Actually, they want to have financial autonomy. I don't know what is their final object or what is their final purpose, but right now, at least, underline at least they are of the opinion that they will implement academic autonomy. Coming to the point, there should be light but tight regulatory framework to ensure transparency, integrity, and efficiency. What is happening nowadays? Of course, it is off the record. I don't know. Every education institutes, particularly those who are professional, those who are private, those who are not having that type of responsibility otherwise to the society, they have 2 to 3 balance sheet. One balance sheet to the public, one balance sheet to the government, and one balance sheet to the students. So it is very amazing, or it is very serious part of. But why? Because the control, the there is no any tight system. There is a light system. But what is being mentioned in NEP hereafter, the regulatory system will be light, but as well as tight. You will not escape. You will not. आप इधर उधर भटक ही नहीं सकते. आपको उसी मार्ग से जाना है जो मार्ग तय किया है. और of course, at the end, what is the word being used? Through autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. Of course, it is very difficult to have that type of linkage with each other. But if you are autonomous enough, अगर आप एटोनॉमस है, अगर आप स्वायत्त है, तो आप अपने हिसाब से कार्य कर सकते हो, सिलेबस डेवलप कर सकते हो, परीक्षा ले सकते हो, रिजल्ट डिक्लेयर कर सकते हो. ऐसी अपेक्षा एनईपी पॉलिसी मेकर्स की है. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, आउटस्टैंडिंग रिसर्च एज अ पार्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट. आउटस्टैंडिंग रिसर्च, very much emphasis is given in NEP on research. As you know, NRF, National Research Foundation, crores of rupees. Even Prime Minister of our country made it repetitively used to make the same comment that I want good research. We want good research. We want good projects for which will contribute to the society in one way or other. So outstanding research, the word which is being used in national education policy is a outstanding research. Only research, only thesis. अभी की अवस्था क्या है? Of course, I am not at all blaming and claiming and criticizing and to all and general. Sorry, ये मर्यादित है, लेकिन ये है. हम जो थीसिस पब्लिश करते हैं, वो थीसिस only 3 persons will refer that thesis: guide, referee, and student. And the last copy to the library. Library cupboard, one part of, and it is once it is being locked, forever it is locked. Even though we publish it on online mode, but how many people will go through with that? Point is, अभी का जो रिसर्च का विषय है, जो थीसिस है, जो प्रबंध है, वो सिर्फ 3 लोग पढ़ते हैं. एक विद्यार्थी, एक रिसर्च स्कॉलर, एक गाइड, उसका एपीआई बढ़ता है, और एक रेफरी, उसका भी एपीआई बढ़ता है. पॉइंट इज, ऑफ कोर्स इट इज नॉट माय जनरल कमेंट एंड कमेंट टू ऑल. समाज को क्या फायदा है? What is the contribution of your research to the society? What is the contribution of your research to the domain knowledge? आप जिस ज्ञान शाखा में संशोधन कर रहे हो, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ कॉस्टिंग एंड आई एम स्टूडेंट ऑफ कॉमर्स. इफ आई एम परस्यूइंग माई पीएचडी इन कॉमर्स, सो मेरा रिसर्च वर्क जो है, वो मेरा डोमेन नॉलेज जो है, बेसिक नॉलेज जो है, ज्ञान शाखा जो है, उस ज्ञान शाखा में कुछ अलग सा चेंज होना चाहिए, बदलाव होना चाहिए. अगर ये नहीं हो रहा है, तो व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ द रिसर्च? इट इज नॉट टू बी कॉल्ड एज आउटस्टैंडिंग रिसर्च. मैं जिस समाज में रहता हूं, तो उस समाज के लिए क्या फायदा है? So two questions are very specific to be asked. What is the contribution of your research to the society, and what is the contribution of your research to the your domain knowledge or your basic knowledge or your body of knowledge? If it happens, then definitely it's outstanding research. तो एनईपी का मानना है, एनईपी का कहना है, एनईपी की अपेक्षा है कि आपका जो संशोधन है, आपका जो रिसर्च है, वो आउटस्टैंडिंग हो. तो आउटस्टैंडिंग रिसर्च एज अ consecutive for outstanding education and development. Next, continuous review of progress. Continuous review, as I said earlier also, again I repeat, continuous review of progress as far as research is concerned. As far as research is concerned, there is a 6 monthly research, this 6 monthly progress report presentation and all and all and all, and that system is there, no doubt. So continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. अभी है ना, अभी हम कर रहे हैं ना कि every after 6 months you have to have present your 6 monthly progress report presentation. If you failed to present your 2 consecutive 6 monthly progress report presentation, then your admission will be cancelled. This rule is to be developed, or this rule is must be implemented in practice. क्योंकि अगर आप ये नहीं कर रहे, अगर आप रिसर्च का क्या बोलते हैं, if you are not continuing with, if you are giving second priority, third priority, fourth priority to research, then what is the use of it? So that is why continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational expert. अभी ऐसा हो रहा है. Next, a rootedness and pride in India at its rich, diverse, ancient culture and knowledge system and tradition. The only one line is there in NEP. बहुत बवाल हो रहा है कि अभी ये मनुस्मृति आएगी, अभी ये आएगा, उसको ऐसा कोई नहीं, कुछ नहीं आएगा. हमारी भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा जो है, वो ज्ञान परंपरा हमें स्टूडेंट्स को सिखानी है. प्राइड इन इंडिया, भारत पर अभिमान चाहिए, स्वभाषा, स्वभूषा, स्वविचार, स्व इतिहास, ये जो हमारे स्वत्व है, भारत का अभिमान है, भारत का स्वाभिमान है, ये हमें स्टूडेंट्स को देना है. कोई ऐसा ऐसा लोग बोले कि अभी वेद आएगा, उपनिषद, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. What is being mentioned in national education policy, rootedness and pride in India and its rich, diverse, ancient and modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. हमारी ये जो इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम है, हमारी ये जो ट्रेडिशन है, हमारी ये जो एंशियंट ट्रेडिशन है, हमारी ये जो रिच ट्रेडिशन है, हमारी ये जो डाइवर्स ट्रेडिशन है, हमारी ये जो डाइवर्स नॉलेज सिस्टम है, ये हमें स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ानी है. रामायण जरूर पढ़ाना है, रामायण करके नहीं, लेकिन व्हाट आर द स्टोरीज इन रामायण, व्हाट इज इट्स रेलेवेंस, लॉजिक एंड रैशनैलिटी. आई रिपीट, relevance, logic, and rationality. In today's sense, in today's time, आज के जमाने में उसका क्या महत्व है, उसका क्या लॉजिकल इंपॉर्टेंस है, उसका क्या रैशनल इंपॉर्टेंस है, उसका as per that you have to teach the Ramayana, you have to teach the Mahabharata, you have to teach the Vedas, you have to teach the Upanishad, you have to teach the Indian knowledge system. हम जिस शाखा में पढ़ाते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल कॉमर्स, मैं कॉमर्स का शिक्षक हूं, तो भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा में ऐसा कहा गया है कि यू मस्ट गिव इंपॉर्टेंस टू वैल्यू देन प्राइस. मूल्य पर आपको महत्व देना है, ना कि कीमत पर. हाँ, कीमत तो जरूरी है ही, लेकिन कीमत के अलावा मूल्य की जरूरत है, आपको पढ़नी है, आपको विद्यार्थियों को पढ़ाना है. तो वैल्यू सिस्टम, वैल्यू इज मोर देन प्राइस. ये हो गई भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा. ऋणम कृत्वा घृतम पिबेत, ये जो हमारा ये है, ये हमें अपेक्षित नहीं है. आप यू टुक अ लोन एंड हैव एंजॉय द लाइफ, नो. हमारे यहाँ कहा गया है रिस्ट्रिक्टेड कंजम्पशन, मैक्सिमम प्रोडक्शन एंड इक्विटेबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. दिस इज इंडियन इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम, इंडियन इकोनॉमिक नॉलेज सिस्टम. आई रिपीट द सेंटेंस, restricted consumption, maximum production and equitable distribution. If these three happens, equitable distribution, maximum production and restricted consumption, ये हमारी भारतीय आर्थिक ज्ञान परंपरा है, ये हमें छात्रों को पढ़ानी है. तो the point which is given in NEP, pride in India, its rich, diverse, ancient, modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. I hope it is clear to all. Next, education is a public service. Education is a public service. It is a service, it is not a product. It is a public service. Education is a public service. Access to quality education must be, thousand time underline must be considered a basic right of every child. What is being mentioned in National Education Policy? Education is a public service. Access to quality education must be considered a basic right of every child. भारत के हर एक छात्र का ये अधिकार है, ये राइट है, to get the quality education. Quality education is the right of every child, and basically education is a public service. And the last principle I repeat from my side and I will conclude. Substantial investment in a strong, vibrant public education system. Substantial investment in a strong, vibrant public education system, as well as the encouragement and facilitation of true philanthropic private and community participation. Underline the term philanthropic and community, private community participation. Hereafter, philanthropic investment, philanthropic participation, community participation will definitely increase day by day. अभी इसका हम अनुभव कर ही रहे हैं. Industry people comes forward, private people comes forward, philanthropic participation they are coming forward. So इसके आगे एजुकेशन जो है, पर्टिकुलरली हायर एजुकेशन, मैं स्कूल का 5334 का जिक्र नहीं कर रहा. 5334 के लिए गवर्नमेंट फंडिंग हो सकता है, होगा, होना चाहिए, होना आवश्यक है. हायर एजुकेशन का भी अप टू सम एक्सटेंट डेफिनेटली, बट जो ये हम बढ़ा रहे हैं ना, मेजर सब्जेक्ट, माइनर सब्जेक्ट, वैल्यू एजुकेशन, वोकेशनल एजुकेशन, स्किल इन्हांसमेंट, कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंट प्रोग्राम, फील्ड वर्क, रिसर्च वर्क, ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग, फॉर ऑल दिस, हाउ टू कोप अप विद दिस? With the help of community participation, private participation, philanthropic participation will be there. So in nutshell, as the time is very limited and only 2 minutes are left for my session, coming to the point, I repeat, policy was announced on 29th of July 2020. Now today we are have 9th of January 2025. Almost 4.5 years are over. Now we are moving towards implementation. Already we started implementation of this. We as a teacher, those who are in front of me as audience, you may be teacher, you may be professor, you may be assistant professor, you may be associate professor, you may be principal, you may be board of study member, you may be academic member, you may be member of senate, you may be member of management council, whatever capacity you belongs to. आपको ये जो 15 प्रिंसिपल मैंने कहे, try to put it in practice in your session, in your lecture, in your syllabus framing, in your exam process, in your assessment process, in your discussion, in your communication, wherever, whenever you come across with, or whenever come across with any student, in as a teacher, as a teacher, as a professor, as a BOS member, as a board of study, whatever, आपको ये सब प्रैक्टिस में लाने का प्रयास करना चाहिए. At the end, one important principle which I have not forget, but I put it at the end, and that is early childhood care education. Very important principle mentioned in this national education policy, early childhood care education, age of 0 to age of 6. Age of 0 to age of 6. It is of utmost important. हमारे देश में अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर एजुकेशन, इफ वी आर कैजुअल इनफ टुवर्ड्स, देन इट इज ऑफ नो यूज. इसीलिए मैंने शुरू में कहा, फिनिश प्रोडक्ट ऑफ वन इज अ रॉ मटेरियल ऑफ नेक्स्ट. अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर एजुकेशन अगर अच्छी तरह से दिया जाता है तो नेक्स्ट 5+3+3+4, then 3 years degree, 4 years degree, 5 years degree will definitely have a quality education. And that is why the basic crunch of this national education policy, that we must give focus on this early childhood care education, that is the age of 0 to 6. Now friends, you like me also, I am in one of the senior college, 3 years degree program, 4 years degree program, 5 years degree program. No doubt we have some questions of workload, questions of timetable, questions of infrastructure facilities, questions of number of questions we have, number of problems we have, number of, but considering all this, I am also part of it. हमें ध्यान में क्या रखना है? स्टूडेंट एज अ सेंटर पॉइंट ऑफ द सिस्टम. विद्यार्थी केंद्रित शिक्षा हो, विद्यार्थी केंद्रित हमें रहना है, विद्यार्थियों को पढ़ना है, ये सब विद्यार्थियों के लिए है. If we forget that student is not at the center and we are at the center, then that the implementation of NEP or the success of NEP is very difficult. But I'm sure that all of you will definitely focus on the student-centric approach in our teaching learning process. So thank you very much for my time is over for inviting me, and whatever points I have to uh, cover, I tried my level best to cover during this session. Thank you. Rafiq sir, my part is over. I am done. Of course, if anyone have a question, you are free to ask, because at the end, it is a part of our process to ask if you have any query or doubt. Of course, I am not the authority to answer, but if I have some capacity, then knowledge, then I will answer. अगर किसी को कुछ रखना है, बोलना है, suggestion, advice, question, you can. Otherwise, my part is over. Rafiq sir, अभी हमें छात्रों को परिसर चलो अभियान और क्लासरूम चलो अभियान, ये दो अभियान में हिस्सा लेना आवश्यक है. छात्र कॉलेज में आने चाहिए और छात्र क्लास में आने चाहिए. अब ये दोनों थोड़ा मुश्किल हो रहा है, और हमें लगता है ठीक है, नहीं आए तो क्या हुआ, हम भी कब गए थे क्लास में. लेकिन नाउ द टाइम हैज चेंज्ड. नाउ देयर इज अ कट थ्रोट कंपटीशन. देयर इज अ competition in corporate world, competition in every life, family life, corporate life, individual life, social life, political life, commercial life. हर एक जीवन में स्पर्धा है, और अगर स्पर्धा में यशस्वी होना है तो स्टूडेंट्स को अच्छा ह्यूमन बींग हमें तैयार करना है. और अगर अच्छा ह्यूमन बींग उसको तैयार करना है तो हमें उसको उसके ऊपर संस्कार करने हैं, उसके बिहेवियर, उसका अप्रोच, उसका एटीट्यूड वी हैव टू चेंज. एंड वो तभी हो सकता है जब वो क्लास में आएगा, व्हेन ही विल कम अक्रॉस, व्हेन ही विल इंटरेक्ट विथ यू. तो दिस इज द केस. थैंक यू. तो मुझे लगता है कि ऑर्गेनाइजर्स आर नॉट देयर.
सर हेलो सर.
हाँ, यस. Anybody is there from organization team?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am here. Sir.
Yes, yes. Rafiq sir, my part is over. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, any questions from the side of participants? आपके कोई प्रश्न है सर से पूछने के लिए? Dr. Sandeep, just now you have called me. Any question from your side? पार्टिसिपेंट अनम्यूट कर सकते हो, आपको परमिशन दी है मैंने भी.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो भी अभी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कॉलेज को परमिशन दी जाती है तो उसकी वजह से क्वालिटी जो है वो क्वालिटी डिक्लाइन हो रही है.
Yes, yes. That is the admission to the students, ना? हेलो, आप वही कर रहे हैं ना कि हर क्लास में ज्यादा संख्या हो रही है ना विद्यार्थियों की.
मैंने कॉलेज बढ़ रहे हैं सर, तो जो स्टूडेंट है वो डिवाइड हो रहा है, कॉलेज में ज़्यादा कम हो रहा है
अच्छा.
स्टूडेंट्स.
नहीं नहीं
और
नहीं,
वो
अभी
जो भी
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ.
कॉलेज है तो वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ना लेके भी कैसे भी मार्क देते हैं, कैसे ही इवैल्यूएशन
वही
करते हैं,
वही वही
तो
वही
उसकी
वही
वजह
वही
से
वही
क्वालिटी डिक्लाइन हो रही है सर, इंक्रीज होने की वजह से.
वही 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 तो अभी अभी क्या है, अभी तो एनईपी के इफ यू गो थ्रू विद द बेसिक डॉक्यूमेंट ऑफ 484 पेजेस ऑफ, उसमें तो उन्होंने कहा है कि 500, if the number of students below 500, then you have to close the college. ऐसे कॉलेज को बंद ही करना है. दैट इज वाई द क्लस्टर कंसेप्ट इज देयर. लेकिन आप जो बोल रहे हैं वही सही है कि ऑन अदर साइड Government is giving permission to colleges. Even last year also, last to last year also, even in Maharashtra, वो permission देते जा रहे हैं.
That
Actually
is
अपेक्षा है इससे. I know, I know, I know.
Yeah.
है बराबर है.
Yes,
लेकिन
thank
उस पे लेकिन एनईपी में तो ऐसा कहा है कि अभी ऐसे कॉलेजेस बंद हो जाएंगे
मैं मगर सर
क्योंकि
दो क्वेश्चन है उसमें भी कि
प्लीज.
क्लस्टर जब भी हम करते हैं तो क्लस्टर में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा डिफरेंट एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट है, डिफरेंट थिंकिंग की, तो वो क्लस्टर में कैसे आएंगे? ये तो सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है सर.
It means you want to say ownership. If I
यस सर.
belongs to one, yeah, I understood. हम एक संस्था का है, ownership of one management and ownership of other
जैसे कि
management. How
कुछ
to sharing?
कॉलेज भाग,
That is the
जैसे
problem.
कि
Yes, that is the
yes,
problem. That is why the school complex is also one of the problem. 5334 में भी उन्होंने कहा है कि now you have to establish the complex, school complex. और आप जो कह रहे हैं वही है कि एक व्यवस्थापन, एक मैनेजमेंट और दूसरी मैनेजमेंट अगर वो एकत्र आते हैं तो it will good.
Sir, my
लेकिन
question is, what
हाँ,
will be the role of the libraries in the NEP?
library, actually the term library is now outdated. It is knowledge center on record.
Yes,
So
yes.
role of knowledge center is very at peak level, at the highest level in a way. लेकिन आप जिस लाइब्रेरी का जिक्र कर रहे हो, बुक्स हार्ड कॉपी, स्टूडेंट आए पढ़े, वो जमाना अनफॉर्चुनेटली नहीं रहा. आई रिपीट द सेंटेंस, अनफॉर्चुनेटली. दुर्भाग्य से वो जमाना अभी नहीं रहा, लेकिन यही आवश्यक है, ये हमें छात्रों को बोलना है. Even if you go through with the e-communication, even if you go through with that all sorts of tools and techniques which are there, लेकिन लाइब्रेरी में आके, अभी मैंने कहा नॉलेज सेंटर में आके, जो छात्र पढ़ता है, जो छात्र नॉलेज कैप्चर करता है, एब्सॉर्ब करता है, इट इज अ लाइफ लॉन्ग फॉर हिम. लेकिन ऐसा है, हमें इसीलिए मैंने कहा ना कि आपको छात्रों को पर्सनली बोलना है. इसीलिए मराठी में कहते हैं आधी केले मग सांगितले. शिक्षकांनी जायला पाहिजे लायब्ररीमध्ये. शिक्षकच लायब्ररीमध्ये येत नाहीत, टीचर्स आर नॉट मूव्हिंग टुवर्ड्स द लायब्ररी, then how we would expect that students should move to the library. This is the reality, ground reality. तो शिक्षक वर्ग को भी आपको कंपल्सरी करना है कि लाइब्रेरी में आइए. Accession books, you just sit over there for 2 hours, 3 hours in a day, at least 1 hour in a day, at least half an hour in a day. Otherwise, how will put an ideal example in front of the students? ये मेरा मानना और कहना है. मैं लाइब्रेरी में जाता हूँ, मेरे लाइब्रेरी में जब भी पॉसिबल है तब जाता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं कि आई यूज टू सिट देयर फॉर आवर्स टू, बट जब भी पॉसिबल है तब मैं जाता हूँ. तो ये छात्रों को भी लगना चाहिए कि अरे शिक्षक भी लाइब्रेरी में बैठ रहे हैं तो हमें भी जाना है. अगर छात्र अभी क्या बोलते हैं कि हम ई कम्युनिकेशन से पढ़ेंगे, हम एआई चैट जीपीटी से पढ़ेंगे, लेकिन डे विल कम, दे विल their interest will decline like anything, and again they will move to the traditional library.
Sir, am I audible?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, it's not a question actually. There are some observations I felt about NEP 2020, or maybe it's a rumination. So here, the first and foremost thing, whenever I think about NEP 2020, there is a pattern of 10 plus 2, then it goes to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So what are the implications of the change? Then second observation, in the foundational stage, it is nothing but a play-based procedure, wherein what would be the implementation of NEP 2020 and what are the potential benefits which will be reaped by students. And the third thing is that in the vocational education, one part, and second part is the training of vocational education. So how these two things, the theory and practice, the theory and practical things are getting incorporated or integrated into the curriculum, and what would be the status of the job market in future. Then the next observation I found about NEP 2020 is that it is all about assessment reforms. it's a journey from rote learning to higher order thinking skills. So what are the challenges for this and how the assessment method is made for that? One more thing that I found about NEP 2020 is that what happens is that from BA students, they come to become subjects, means exactly the attempt is made in order to break down different disciplines of knowledge, and there is an integration of knowledge. So how these things can be put into practice and what would be the potential benefits to the students. Then the next thing, I think that much more focus is usually made on teacher engagement, but hardly there is a very least or less attention is given to the engagement of students. So in such programs also, the students must have their engagement. There is one more thing that I observed about this is that there is increased gross enrollment ratio, that is GER. So what are the strategies of GER, gross enrollment ratio, in talking about NEP 2020 and how it will be achieved and what are the potential challenges we come across? There is one more thing that baffles me or linger in my mind is that our journey is towards autonomy, privatizations, right? Autonomous institutions. So as we get the idea about all these things, but how to balance all these things with accountability and what would be the potential risks in this? The focus of NEP 2020 is on research, innovation. So what will be the support for research and innovation in this regard? And what are the potential benefits which will be reaped by students? So teacher training is usually given in order to enhance the quality, wherein the engagement of the students plays a crucial role, I think so. So what would be the role of technology? Because this is a NEP 2020 or today's world is a technologically governed world. Everything is techno-friendly, right? So in this techno-friendly area, how NEP 2020 is going to meet equity and access at large. So equity and access, these two are major challenges, I think so. So there are many things I have in my mind, and in your lecture is so nice because you talked about many things very nicely, and you mentioned one thing, one of the things that is about Gurukul system. So how this Gurukul system can be incorporated, or Vedas, or whatever it is, whatever the best from the past can be incorporated in order in this NEP 2020 or in the revision part of NEP 2020, that is 2040 in future. So it must have its adherence or its coherence with technological advancement. So these are a few observations I found. There are also 1 minute, 1 more minute I will take about this. So regional languages are taken into considerations. So whether all the regional languages and cultures are taken into considerations, and how these regional languages or multilingual India or cultures will be promoted in NEP 2020 pattern system. There is one more thing about, we talk about standardization or standardization goals. So what would be the common curriculum framework? Will the common curriculum framework meet the goals and objectives of NEP 2020? And what are the, whether it will meet equity and inclusion? So these are the things that I come across. I find it crucial to be discussed. And what would be the service conditions? What would be the placement method in future? And there are many questions which lag behind, especially the workload and all these things which are repeatedly being talked by, I've talked in many seminars, but there is no proper way of dealing with these things. So I think that these such things must be solved right from the beginning so that there will be a transparency in educational sector. So rest of the things are fine. I didn't have any about that. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Pramod ji. Any more questions from the participant? So if there are no questions, I would take this opportunity. First of all, I will take the permission from our resource person, Sathe sir, that can I conclude with a vote of thanks, sir?
Yes, yes, please, please, please. No problem.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
So on behalf of
Because
UGC,
all the issues, concern, observation, comments raised by Pawar sir, they are very relevant. But of course, time is the only answer to this, and
yes,
we have to
yes.
plan for it. Of course, this is not a magic stick that we move this stick and everything will happen. So it's a reciprocal part of
Yes,
that
and even the draft
relation and thing.
regulations are there, no, which
Yeah,
are
yeah,
yet
yeah,
to be
yeah.
finalized by
We
the
have to.
University Grants Commission of appointment of the college and university teachers and workload. Just now, 2 days ago, the draft has been uploaded on the UGC website, and it is according to the NEP 2020 itself. So I take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to our honorable resource person, Dr. Professor Prashant Sathe sir, for being here, sparing his valuable time. And I now declare that this technical session is over. And with the permission of the resource person, I now declare that this session is over. Thanks so much.
Thank